Alright, we got her turned over and ready to start work. Just kind of go over a little bit about the condition. It's dirty and there is a lot of stress cracks, and most of them are where you expect it. Some of the bends and turns and where things will pull, there's a lot of stressing going on down by where it's set on the trailer. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just full of spiders. Spider cracks. Dirty. Probably would have been easier working with it sitting on the ground, but I just don't have the manpower to take it off these sawhorses. It's in this tent, and you'd have to pull the whole thing out, take the sawhorses out, and put it back in. So I'm just going to struggle through. So the first thing I'm going to do is wash the hull down with some Mary Kate cleaner. So we'll get started on that. Well, I got everything cleaned up. Everything off of the deck. I got a lot of the screws out. Scrubbed it down with some soap. I was gonna clean it with Mary Kay, but I did a test spot and it didn't make that much of a difference, and because I'm sanding and the Mary Kay has hydrochloric acid, which isn't good for the metal, I just figured I'd skip it. One of the problems I came up with were with these straps. I'm not sure how I'm going to tackle that yet. There's 4 straps. And there's a piece of wood on the inside, and it seems like it's one of those nuts that have barbs in them, and it pulls up and sticks into the wood, and some of them just aren't budging. Some of them came out and I saw some rust, so I wonder if they're even stainless. So I haven't decided how I'm going to tackle that yet. I'm going to look at some pictures of some other sharks, then see if they still use them if I need them. If I need them, I may just have to have a through bolt and have to go back up in there to put some nuts on the other side. I pulled off the traveler for the boom, and there was just a little bit of a soft wood where the screws were loose in a few of these holes. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, if I'm going to epoxy the holes, or I may get some git rot and try and pump it into this piece of wood. It's not bad, but there was just a few soft spots. Then the boat, for some reason, had lights. I had a stern light and the 2 forward lights, red and blue, and a white light in the back, and I can't see myself ever carrying a battery. So I think I'm going to do away with them. I took some screws out here. Then I took the small cam cleat for the center board, and then this cam cleat here I assume is for the jib. And when I took that off, it had nuts, and the nuts dropped down inside, so we're going to have to go back up inside there again. So overall, we're ready to start work on the prep work.
Well, as I suspected, it had those metal barb nuts up inside there, and they're steel. I hope yours are stainless, but mine weren't. So I'm going to do away with the straps. I just can't see somebody going up in there. Can't even reach them. And then if you have to work or do anything with them, it's just impossible. And I can't see my wife going back up in there again. So I banged them down. Some of them I couldn't get off. Some of them I couldn't even bang down. And I don't know why, but rather than take a chance, I hit them pretty hard. Rather than take a chance of busting something up, I ground the heads below the surface, and I filled over them, and I filled in all the holes. So if it's something that I'm going to really need next year or whenever, I'm going to have to think of something to do. But that's what I did there. Well, the nuts fell off. They're down inside there. Hate to say it, but somebody's got to go back and put that on. It's not too far in there. It won't be as bad. It'll be easy. Honest. Okay, I'm going to get started sanding. I got my sander. This was $31 at Harbor Freight. The best buy of the job. If you don't have one of these, get one. You don't have to buy Harbor Freights, but $31, well worth it. Then I have my Dremel, which I clean the cracks out with. So with that said, I'm going to start working here and work all the way around. This is what it looks like after a little bit of filler put in there. I'll have to go around it again, sand it, and finish it. I got to plug that hole up and fill that hole. That's kind of basically what it looks like. Just looks like body work on a car.
I got one coat of primer on. Doesn't look too bad. Everything's no rain tomorrow. We'll put a coat of bright side on. Okay, I got the primer on, and I'll give it a coat of 200, a sanding of 200. Then I'll put the bright sides on. And then when that's ready, I'll put another sanding and another coat of bright side, and we'll see how that looks on. That'll end this video. But I just wanted to say, some people say, why did I buy the boat, or what are you going to do with it, how much you're going to sail on it? And I want to say, retirement is like a two-edged sword. You don't have to go to work anymore, but then again, you kind of don't have nothing to do. So you got to keep busy. You got to find something you like to do and just do it. You not only have to keep physically active, but you have to keep mentally active. So kind of that's what I bought it for, was just to keep myself busy. I remember when my father retired, he was, I don't remember if he retired at 55 or 58. He was in the plumbers union, so he had a pension and moved down to Florida. But I think he was probably 62. And he bought a Compact 16, which is a good sailboat, unsinkable. And he would take that boat out on the Banana River a couple times a week, all summer long when it was summer. And he would just sail and got a lot of enjoyment out of that boat. And the thing was, he kept busy. He loved to sail that boat. At 62, he sailed it for a couple years, 2 or 3 years, and it just gave him something to do. There's nothing as enjoyable as sailing. Now, maybe you don't like boats, or maybe you don't like sailing. Whatever it is, if you're retired, whatever you enjoy, do it. The last thing my father said to me one of the last things we said, last time we were down there, and he knew he didn't have a lot of time left, and he said to me, and he said to other people that were there, he said, if you want to do something, do it while you can. And that's a good lesson. If you want to do something, do it while you can. Don't wait until it's too late. And that's kind of why I bought the boat, and I'm always doing something, and I'm going to do it while I can, because there's coming a time where I won't be able to do it anymore. So I'm going to enjoy it. So I would encourage you, if you have something you want to do, just do it before it's too late. Just a little bit of an overview. The hull and the deck's painted, and just how it went and what I thought. First, I bought 1 quart of filler, 2-part filler, Interlux, and it was good. It worked fine. I should have got away with 1. I don't know where it all went, but I used 1 and just a little bit of the second one. I should have been able to get away with 1, and it was good. I liked it. It sanded fine and hardened well. Then I used the 2-part epoxy paint. I bought 2 quarts of that, and I think I've got a little less than half a quart left, and I still have the plywood to do. So that lasted fine, and I liked it. It was good. I might have put it on a little bit thin, but it was real hard. I liked it. Then the third thing, I bought a gallon of the Bright Sides white, and I think I've got about a third of it left, maybe a little less than a third, maybe a quarter, and I still have the 2 decks on plywood I'm going to paint white with that. And I debate whether if I'd done it again, I'd have used 2-part. 2-part paint is a lot harder, but it's more expensive. So I don't know. I might have been able to get away with 2 quarts of that, probably not counting the plywood. And it's a lot harder. It finishes better. But as far as the Bright Side goes, the one good thing about the Bright Sides, when you get a scratch, you get a dent, you get something wrong, you just sand it a little bit and you can put it right on top of it. You don't have to do the whole thing. And I think that probably is a plus. I would let it set a long time before you start messing with it. It takes quite a while to harden up, a couple days, and then I think it would be fine. It wouldn't scratch as much, but I did get a few scratches flipping the hull, and maybe it was a little bit soon. Other than that, I kind of liked it. It went on easy. I tipped it. It flattened out pretty nice. Probably the worst part was finishing the filler. And if you have a good body man, that'll help you out on that. It probably would have helped a lot to get it smoother. When you don't do it every day, it's hard to not see it after you're done. So there's a lot of spots that the filler, you can see where I filled if you look hard. I'm not sure about the non-skid. When you paint that, 3 coats of paint, it almost goes away. I'm going to buy something for an additive and do it on the 2 deck pieces, and we'll try that and see how that goes. If I have enough left over, I may do the non-skid on the deck itself again. Other than that, I think it went well. It finished. It looks nice, and overall, I give it a 2 thumbs up. Thanks for watching. This finishes the 2 deck pieces, and I'm going to get back on the center boards. Thanks for watching.